Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today I've got a special treat for you guys. I'm going to be playing a 2v2. Me and my teammate are playing as the Lizardmen, and we're facing up against the Dawi. Yes, indeed, the Dwarfs are here, led by Thorgrim Grudgebear. We are making use of the Custom Battle Old World Faction Unlocker mod. Of course, I'll leave a link down in the description below. It's going to be myself and Goat Jesus facing up against Turin and Papa Soda. Turin and Papa Soda have a very strong line here, so let's go ahead and take a look at the army compositions. So we'll go ahead and pause things here, because I do want to talk about a few things and kind of theory craft a little bit about how this matchup will potentially go. One thing to note about this mod is balance changes have been implemented. The mod doesn't actually implement any changes itself, I don't believe. It's just, you know, it just implements the factions as they are, and CA has already made some changes to rebalance some things. So you guys may have seen me talking about the Dwarfs already in another video. If not, definitely go check that out. I'll go over some of the more major changes. There's not too much. Mostly it's to do with the items on the Lords and Heroes, which is definitely worth taking a look at. But for now, for my army, we've got the front line of Saurus warriors who, although they don't have armor piercing on the tooltip, they do have 18 armor piercing damage, which is pretty good. 34 base weapon strength is not bad either. We've got 2 skink chiefs for the cold-blooded, as well as, you know, just applying that poison missile attack. Revivification crystal for some additional healing. 2 units of feral cold ones for some armor piercing. A skink cohort with javelins for a nice meat shield. We've also got a solar engine just to shoot down, you know, whatever we can. And yeah, it might not be the optimal build, but we'll kind of talk about things in a bit here. For my ally's army, he's got a mix of Saurus and Skinks up front with a Skink Chief for healing. He's got some Pterodon Riders with the Fire Leech Bolas. Over here, he's got a pretty heavy Dino squad with Kroq-Gar, Revivification Crystal, and a Skink Priest, Lord of Beasts. Let's go ahead and look at what he's carrying here. He's got Transmutation of Kadan, Flock of Doom, and Wissen's Wild Form. Very good stuff. Mazdamundi is carrying, let's see here, I've got Ruination of Cities, Banishment, of course, Apotheosis, and Curse of the Midnight Wind for some armor and melee mitigation. So we've also got 3 Chameleon Skinks over here, vanguarded in the corner, of course. And yeah, for the Dwarf forces, so this army here, I believe this army's Turin. We've got Dwarf Warriors up front with Longbeards in the center. Ironbreakers actually in the very center here. Very good looking unit. Of course, Thorgrim Grudgebear being the leader. He's also got the Runesmith. One thing to note about Rune of Wrath and Ruin is it does have a 48% speed debuff, which is not going to be hugely you know, important here, but it definitely would be useful. Got 2 units of Thunderers as well. Dwarf Warrior in reserve. The Iron Drakes with the Trollhammer Torpedoes, which are, I think, going to be a very good pick against the Dinos. Of course, they have heavy anti-large armor-piercing missiles, so that'll be good. Another Dwarf Warrior out here on the flanks. And that's about it for this other army here, led by Papa Soda. Got a front line of Dwarf Warriors and Longbeards with great weapons, with hammers in the very center. We've also got lots of Thunderers here, 2 units of Slayers, 2 units of Miners for some cheap, you know, kind of fodder units. We've got 2 cannons as well. So yeah, that looks to be about everything. Another Chameleon Skink out here on the flanks. Let's go ahead and kick things into full gear. So in the first phase of the battle, these gyrocopters with brimstone guns of Turin's army are going to come and start harassing my forces. I don't really have any ranged units here with my main, you know, kind of force to help deal with these guys. My only real ranged units are these guys who only have a couple volleys, and the Chameleon Skinks who are way over on the other side of the map. So just trying to use the Laser Lizard and the Skink Chiefs to do what damage I can. You know, the Skink Chiefs do have the blowpipe with the poison missile attack. And let's actually take a look at the missile damage breakdown if we can here. He's a squirrely little guy. He likes to run around and slither about. Looks like 445 armor piercing over 10 seconds. Sorry, not armor piercing, base damage with 40 missile damage, a reload time of 3.6 seconds, so that's actually pretty decent, but we're not here to watch these guys too much. This unit of Cold One Riders charging in on the flanks here. We've got the Chameleon Skinks shooting in on the cannon crew here in the back, just trying to take it offline. Meanwhile, we're just marching straight up the pipe here, and I get way too aggressive with Mazdamundi here. I'm going to take a face full of blasting charges, and you can see the torpedoes from these Iron Drakes coming in. Just watch the burst damage they're able to lay down on Mazdamundi, and it's going to be a really rough time. We're throwing down a banishment here. Over on the other side of the line, things are getting all kinds of wild. We've got Dwarf Warriors and Saurus clashing here in the center with Longbeards. We've got plenty of Hammerers as well, but one big issue we're going to face as the Dinos is the guns. There are lots of units of guns, and they've deployed them very well, where you have kind of these different formations here, and you can see Goat Jesus was able to pretty aggressively collapse this flank, but he is able to tie down one of these units of Thunderers. Unfortunately, there's 2 more healthy units here. There's these 2 cannons as well. Lots of range fire coming in. For myself, Mazdamundi's taken way too much damage already from those Iron Drakes. I did not respect those guys like I should have. They probably do more damage than the Globadiers, to be honest, but these Cold One Riders as well, just continuing to take shots from the Brimstone guns. Honestly, I should probably be targeting my Laser Lizard at some of these Thunderers or some other high-value units. It could probably do a lot of damage to the Trollhammer torpedoes, considering their low model count, but in the Infantry Battle, we're doing pretty well. Saurus against Longbeards, I believe the Saurus will pull that out, just because they're heavier weapon strength. Over on this fight against just Dwarf Warriors, the Saurus combined with the Cold Ones is doing very well. But the guns are a big problem at this point. The Revivification Crystal is now taking the brunt of this fire here. You can see the torpedoes and the handguns of the Thunderers shooting in here. This thing's going to rout off, so with Mazdamundi and my Revivification Crystal out of the picture, it's going to be a really bad time. The Revivification Crystal actually shatters here and is potentially going to die. Yep, oh man, that withering volley there. But you can see the Solar Engine just really isn't doing the damage it needs to against these Brimstone guns. They're still all full unit models and just poking away continuously at Mazdamundi. Despite the healing, I'm putting Apotheosis, Cold-Blooded as much as I can on him, and he's just not being healed at all. So that's very unfortunate. But otherwise, we're pretty much winning this frontline engagement. I have managed to get some Chameleon Skinks over onto this cannon, as well as we're going to be getting some attempt to get them over on here onto these Iron Drakes. Probably should have gotten that done a lot sooner, but that's alright. For this other engagement over here, you can see this very healthy firing line is now routed off the Skink Priest. Kroq-Gar is nowhere to be found. I'm assuming he got gunned down. I actually didn't see. I don't see his body anywhere, but you can see the Pterodon Riders all over the place as well. It's a really rough time for the Lizards with all the guns of the Dwarfs. So the Dwarfs, actually, I think the Lizards are going to be the best matchup for them in terms of the new factions, because the Lizards don't have any chariots, they're relatively slow, they really rely on their, heavy armor-piercing monsters, and of course the Dawi have plenty of anti-armor capability with the handgunners, and because the Lizardmen are relatively slow, it gives the Dawi an opportunity to deal a lot of damage from range, of course through cannons, handgunners, the Trollhammer torpedoes as well. You saw how much damage they did to Mazdamundi. It was in a matter of seconds they took him down. So over here on this line, the Dwarfs are just grinding it out against the Saurus. This is a major grind out here. This fight, I'd imagine, uninterrupted, would take quite a long time here with the Longbeards and everything, but against Dwarf Warriors, the Saurus are definitely prevailing. Against the Longbeards, because of the support of the range fire here, they're definitely, winning out. Dawi are a proud people, and with their new buffs and, everything, hopefully they're able to do better in multiplayer. I do think, like I said, this is going to be a good matchup for them. The rest of the new factions are all going to be tough because they have good chariot options, but hopefully the Dawi can do well with their new tools. Of course, they have the hard snare from the Tormentor Sword, some other good stuff as well. But, you can see Thorgrim going through here on his chair. He's all kinds of angry, reading grudges against the Lizardmen, so it is going to be a defeat for the Lizardmen forces. Victory to the Dawi, yes indeed. So rejoice, the grudges have been settled. And let's take a look at the breakdown. So, for myself, Mazdamundi just getting absolutely shut down there, along with the Revivification Crystal, was really rough. I didn't play that well, but, I really don't know how else I could have approached that situation, rather than just keeping them way back from the fight. But I guess that would have been effective. But honestly, in the future against the Dawi, I'm probably going to bring a different Lord. Maybe we'll just bring Mazdamundi on his toilet seat, or maybe just bring Kroq-Gar, maybe on a cold one, something with a lower hitbox, so they're not such a big target for the cannons and everything, because the Dawi have some serious firepower. For Turin, his Iron Drakes did a ton of damage. They picked up 2 chevrons gunning down Mazdamundi and that Revivification Crystal. The cannon also got a chevron as well. Iron Breaker's doing incredibly well in the front line, 114 kills. Granted, they were matched up against a unit of Skinks, but they got a chevron as well. These Dwarf Warriors, chevron across the line. The Dwarf Warriors trading pretty cost effectively with the Saurus. It's a very atrocious, kind of grindy trade, but I do think the Dwarf Warriors will trade well there, along with the Longbeards. So very good stuff. If we look at Papa Soda's army, Ungrim didn't get any kills, but I'd imagine he was just fighting up against the monsters the whole time. Hammer is getting 92 kills in a Chevron. I'd imagine they mulched through some of the Saurus of Goat Jesus here. For him, the Revification Crystal, and again, his dinosaurs got shut down super hard as well. So the Cannons and the Thunderers all picked up a Chevron. This Slayer got a Chevron probably from slaying dinosaurs. 108 kills on Longbeards is great. I'd imagine Longbeards with great weapons are going to be pretty nice in this, being that they have the charge defense against large, armor piercing, great stats overall, great leadership, of course. So I think they're going to be good in this matchup. Slayers, of course, are always good against large, and yeah, definitely looking good for the Dawi against the Lizardmen. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this battle. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.